Two Venezuelan fighter jets, specifically F-16s, recently flew close to an American destroyer operating in international waters in the Caribbean. The Pentagon immediately described the maneuver as highly provocative, and Washington sent a very clear warning to Caracas not to interfere with its operations. This incident happened on the 4th of September, involving the American warship Jason Dunham, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. These ships are powerful, modern, and equipped to defend themselves against a wide range of threats. The flyover itself did not cause damage, but the symbolism was obvious. Venezuela wanted to show that it was present and watching. The timing matters because the United States has recently increased its naval presence in the Caribbean with multiple ships, aircraft, and thousands of Marines training in the region. So, let's slow down and unpack what happened. What Venezuela's F-16 is actually capable of, what kinds of ships and Marines are now in the area, and how the United States is reacting. Venezuela received its F-16s back in the 1980s. They are early models known as Block 15 versions. Compared to the modern American or European F-16, they are lighter, less advanced, and lack the long-range weapons you see on today's frontline fighters. Still, they are fast, agile, and when flown close to a target, they can create a strong message. Originally, Venezuela bought 24 of these aircraft. Today, after decades of use and difficulties in getting spare parts, only around a dozen are thought to be fully operational. Some days the number might be a bit higher, some days a bit lower, but overall we are talking about a small but still significant force. In terms of weapons, these jets typically carry short-range air-to-air missiles, such as Sidewinders or Israeli-made Pythons. These are designed for dogfights within visual range, not for striking targets far away. For ground attack, the Venezuelan F-16s can carry unguided bombs or rocket pods, the kind of equipment that requires the pilot to fly close to the target. There is little evidence that they have modern precision weapons or advanced targeting pods on this fleet. It is also worth noting that Venezuela's most modern combat aircraft are actually Russian-made Su-30s, which are larger and carry heavier payloads. But those are fewer in number and not always fully available due to maintenance. The F-16s, therefore, remain a visible symbol of Venezuela's air power even if they are aging. After the Venezuelan F-16s flew near the Jason Dunham, the Pentagon released a statement warning Caracas not to attempt to obscure, deter, or interfere with U.S. military operations in international waters. This language is important. Washington is making clear that the American ship was not inside Venezuelan waters, and that its presence there is legal. At the same time, the U.S. has reinforced its regional posture with additional aircraft. Fighter jets have been moved into Puerto Rico to provide extra air cover over the Caribbean, adding another layer to the already strong naval presence. The American response is not just words. In recent weeks, the United States has quietly but very visibly moved a considerable force into the Caribbean. Reports confirm that at least 7 American warships are now either in the area or very close by. Among them are destroyers like the Jason Dunham, the ship involved in the recent flyover, and her sister ship, Gravely. Both are Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, designed to carry out multiple missions at once, defending against aircraft, intercepting missiles, striking targets on land if necessary, and escorting larger ships. These destroyers are often described as the backbone of the modern U.S. surface fleet because of their versatility and firepower. Also in the region is the cruiser Lake Erie, which recently passed through the Panama Canal to join the buildup. Cruisers are fewer in number today than destroyers, but they bring a heavier load of long-range missiles and have historically been the centerpiece of American naval air defense. Having a cruiser nearby signals that Washington wants layered protection in case the situation becomes more tense. There is also confirmation that a nuclear-powered submarine is operating in the Caribbean. The U.S. never says exactly where its submarines are, but their presence alone is meant to be a reminder that undersea forces can appear anywhere, at any time, with powerful capabilities that are very hard to track. This adds an invisible but significant element to the American posture in the region. One of the most important parts of this deployment is the amphibious ready group, led by the ship Iwo Jima. The Iwo Jima is a large flat-deck amphibious assault ship, sometimes called a small aircraft carrier, because from a distance it looks very much like one. Instead of fast jets, it usually carries helicopters, tilt-rotor aircraft like the MV-22 Osprey, and sometimes vertical takeoff fighters depending on the mission. Its main role is to serve as the floating base for hundreds of Marines who can be sent ashore rapidly. Sailing alongside Iwo Jima are the transport docks, San Antonio and Fort Lauderdale. These ships are built to carry Marines, landing craft, armored vehicles, and supplies. Working as a team, the three ships form a complete package that can project power from the sea onto land in just a few hours. Together, they transport the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit, a highly trained force of over 4,500 sailors and Marines. This Marine unit is known for its flexibility. It can launch helicopter raids inland, secure beaches or ports, provide security for key facilities, and also respond to natural disasters if needed. It trains specifically to be able to pivot between combat and humanitarian roles on very short notice. The 22nd MEU carries its own aviation squadron, ground combat battalion, and logistics support, meaning it can operate independently for extended periods. And we have already seen proof of its activity in the region. Marines from this unit have been photographed and reported conducting flight operations, amphibious landings, and training exercises in southern Puerto Rico. That location is strategically important, as it places them extremely close to the southern Caribbean, where the Venezuelan F-16 encountered the Jason Dunham. In other words, the Marines are not just practicing far away, they are rehearsing right next to the area where tensions are highest, making sure they can respond immediately if the situation escalates. So, to recap, 2 Venezuelan F-16s flew near an American destroyer in the Caribbean. The planes themselves are older models, capable mainly of short-range missions, but symbolically they still carry weight. The United States, however, has answered with a strong presence, multiple warships, thousands of Marines, and air cover now firmly positioned around Puerto Rico and the southern Caribbean. This is about more than just one flyover. It is about signaling, deterrence, and the balance of power in the region. As tensions continue, both sides will keep sending messages. The question is whether those messages remain demonstrations of presence or evolve into something more serious, and that is why this incident is being followed so closely. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.